The melting point of ice is 2/9 of the melting point of candle wax. The melting point of ice is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Write and solve an equation to find the melting point of candle wax. To write the equation, we will use the first sentence of our word problem to help us. So we have the melting point of ice is 2/9 of the melting point of candle wax. So let's use this sentence and start substituting in values. First, let's look for the melting point of ice. In our problem, it says that the melting point of ice is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So we can substitute that in for one of the values in our equation. Is represents the equal sign. So we have 32 equals. We will keep the 2/9, and now we will look at of the melting point of candle wax. Of indicates multiplication. So we have 2/9 of, which is 2/9 times the melting point of candle wax. Now when we look for the melting point of candle wax, we can see that we are asked to find the melting point of candle wax. So that means that this is our unknown. So what we'll do is use a variable for the melting point of candle wax, and in this case we'll use x. So now we have written an equation. 32 equals 2/9 times x. So remember, we need to get the variable x by itself. And at this point we have 2/9 times x. So we need to undo the multiplication. To do this, we will multiply by the reciprocal of 2/9. Remember, to find the reciprocal, we invert the fraction, and the 9 is in the numerator and the 2 is in the denominator. Since we multiplied by 9/2 on the right side of the equation, we must also multiply by 9/2 on the left side of the equation. So to simplify, 9/2 times 2/9 is equal to 1. 1 times x is x. 9/2 times 32 is multiplying a fraction times a whole number. Remember, 32 can be written as 32 over 1. So now we can divide out a 2, and then we can multiply the numerators and denominators. 9 times 16 is 144, and 1 times 1 is 1 in the denominator. So that is equal to 144. So we found that the melting point of candle wax is 144 degrees Fahrenheit.